Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to come and talk about love and marriage, Huntsville. Okay, so we're not gonna go in any particular order. We're just gonna talk about the people. You know, sometimes I don't like going in order. It's easier sometimes that way too. Anyways, so Stormy and Marceau. Stormy and Marceau are going back and forth. I'm not gonna lie. Stormy was eating Marceau up right in front of Tisha. But one time I was over here giggling. Okay, so I believe that in some situations, multiple things can be true at the same time. I think that in this situation, Marceau was out of line, and also Stormy went to a point where I felt like she was out of line too. Listen, I think that a lot of us can agree that Marceau was, girl, pretty much unprofessional, out of order to walk up to someone. And it's not like I saw a few people on Twitter making it about the hundred. It's not about the $100, girl. It's the principle behind it. How dare you walk up to me? I done already set up my stuff. You walk up to me talking about any amount of money when money has not been discussed this entire time, and you walk up to me the day of, a few hours before the event is supposed to start, asking me for a penny. I don't care. Okay. And we know the reason why Marceau was asking for that money is because, again, like I've been saying, Kimmy has been saying, girl, while yes, it's cute and all that good stuff, it sounds great that you want to put on for the community and give back to the community. Girl, you're not going to be wanting to come out of pocket too much for too long. Like, how many is this going to be an annual thing? Because like, listen, you ain't coming out of pocket too much. You might the first time, but at some point, you're going to want to start to see some type of profit, right? Even when you're doing it for the community. Um, I think that basically Marceau started looking like, girl, we really coming out of pocket. I need to make some of this money back. So let me go ask for $100. Okay. But this is where I felt like Stormy took it to another level that it didn't need to go to. As soon as she said, because you don't want to see Courtney. I was like, okay, okay. The conversation is already unprofessional. So Stormy could be thinking, we're already having an unprofessional conversation. So let me just keep on with the unprofessionalism. I thought that was a little too much. I'm I'm not in um the business of defending, girl, none of these on TV, right? There have been a time or two I probably defended them, and this is going to be another one of those times. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? We watch a lot of TV over here. Sometimes I may not remember every detail, but I really don't remember Marceau being disrespectful to the point where any of these women should have felt the need to go and get their husbands. Now, does Marceau talk mess? Yeah, but it's kind of just like he talking crap, if that makes sense, right? But I don't think it ever really crosses the line of like disrespect. Even when I had to go back and watch the exchange with Tiffany, Martell, and Marceau, I was like, Marceau really, I mean, it wasn't none of his business, but he really wasn't like disrespectful to the point where Tiffany should have felt a need to go and get Big Lou. And I feel like this is another example of just like I don't get the whole I didn't get Stormy's whole basically you gonna have to see my husband. It's one thing for you to say that Marceau is unprofessional. He doesn't know how to handle business. But where in the conversation Where in this conversation that you're having with Marceau did it go from Marceau being unprofessional to you don't want to see Courtney? Like when did it get to that point? Like when? Like we went from okay, Marceau being out of line, his wife knows he's out of line, we know he's out of line, you know he's out of line, to you don't want to see Courtney. Just call them unprofessional, get them together, and then that'd be the end of it. I even felt like when she was talking to Courtney, it should have been, yeah, Marcel walked up to me on some unprofessional type of mess, and I had to get them together, but it's cool. You know, I ain't worried about no Marcel. The same way I felt like with Tiffany when she went back and got Lou all hyped up. And now Lou got to feel like I got to defend my wife. Like, I hate to be the one to say it. I've said this before, but sometimes y'all women, y'all really be putting y'all husbands in a situation where somebody could get hurt or killed. Because there was no need for Stormy to go back and make it seem as though Courtney need to talk. You gonna talk to him? Talk to him about what? Girl. I feel like it isn't always a need to go get your husband. You're a grown woman. You handle the situation. You let him know what time it was. It's over. Just like Tiffany. You got that mess started. Yes, I was entertained. I was entertained watching it through the TV. But I could definitely see how Martell could have an issue with you. You see what I'm saying? I just didn't like that. I don't like that. We're probably gonna get back on that in a little bit because her and Tisha, girl. Because I got something to say about Tisha too. The Black Expo, it looks nice. Martell. Martell 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 didn't bring his wine because he didn't want to be selfish and take away from the other, I guess, people that may also have their own wine. You're wet. Because this is a Black Business Expo, and this is the time to put your put your product on display, girl. Not only for the people of Huntsville, but for the show, girl. Like I don't understand how you got all these cameras floating around you, and this is a time for you to show the not the world, but the people who watch the show. Oh, Martell has. Oh, he got a wine. Just like Maurice said, you could tell who had what duties. Melody was the marketing genius. Girl, Martell, he didn't say this, but Martell is just Martell. I did not understand that. I get that, people have limited funds and, it may be someone there with only $50 and they just want to show support and that they already spent $25 at one booth. All they got is another 25 and you don't want them to spend the $25 on you. You would rather have them go spend it on the other person's wine. I get that. That sound all nice and dandy coming out of, but, I'm sorry, my display would have been up. Girl, and this camera's here. Girl, that's the thing. The cameras are here. Girl, that's the time to show everybody what you got going on. Martell Martell gets by because people think that Martell is attractive and Martell has a decent body. Even though low key Martell is built bad. Y'all know Martell low key built bad, girl. He big at the top and small at the bottom, but girl, it is what it is. Martell knows nothing about business. I want him to let Melody go though. How are you worked up that Melody decided to come to the Black Business Expo? And Expo is because that's what Tisha called it. Tisha calls it the Expo. Um, But how are you bothered that Melody decided to come to the Black Business Expo and not participate? You're like, why are you bothered? Why does that even bother you? Anyways, and you know another gag too is Martell didn't want to set up do a setup for his wine, but I think even Tisha and Marceau, God, get all these niggas still confused. Marceau, not Marceau, yeah, Marceau and Tisha. I think they had a little setup for their champagne in the bottle, the chocolate in the bottle. Like, girl, what? Girl, this is their gig, and they still made sure they had a corner. Like, who's not gonna want to display their product to the people who are in Huntsville, the people who probably came to visit this Black Business Expo, the viewers, girl, Martell, going to see Martell has no businesses. Girl, I don't even own no business. And girl, I know that much. Girl, I wish I would. Girl, some campus coming around. Girl, let me try to get my merch out. Girl, I need to order a couple of sweaters. Girl, feel like a rich Black woman, feeling like a rich Black man, girl. We got to show the people, girl, www.rodneythavoice.com. Put your order in today. Okay? Anyways, Marcus and Martell have a conversation. Um, Martell makes a comment towards, Marcus is Melody's brother. He's gay for the people that don't know. Listen, I'm just not gonna beat around the bush, girl. Martell is homophobic. What it comes down to is Martell doesn't want his children around that gay shit. He also more than likely has a big fear that if his son was to see that Marcus has a husband, that a lot of y'all feel that, girl, you can touch somebody and they be gay. You could see something gay and you be gay. Girl, we know that's not the truth, but there are people out there who are dumb as fuck who believe that. They believe that if you see something gay on TV, it's going to make you gay. Even though, girl, the girls of a certain age growing up, we didn't see nothing gay on TV, and we still punks and lesbians and trans. But they think that, girl, they see it, they're going to turn gay. Well, girl, we still turned out to be punks, and we didn't see nothing gay on TV. That's what it comes down to. He don't want his children to think it's okay for a husband, for a man to be in a relationship with a man. Even though you should not want your children to think that it's okay to disrespect their mother and get on TV and call their mother a hoe like you did. You would think that Martell would think that he doesn't want his children to think that it's okay to cheat on their spouses. You would think that he would want to set an example for his son on how to treat women and not go around town and throwing dick and having babies outside of your marriage and destroying your family. The truth of the matter is, Marcus may have a better setup over there than Martell ever would. And that's just the truth. Marcus probably has a happy, positive home. We know for a fact we cannot say the same for Martell. So Martell has some fucking nerve sitting here trying to tell somebody that he don't want his kids to see a husband and husband. You shouldn't want them to see what the fuck you got going on. But because Martell thinks that what he's done ain't really that big of a deal because the other niggas act just like him, he would rather have his son look at him as a role model before he has his son look at Marcus as a role model. Which lets us all know that Martell and company are fucking delusional. I done got worked up. I told you I wasn't gonna let these people work me up. They got me worked up for about 2 minutes. Okay, let's bring it back down, child. Anyways, Martell, another girl. I do not like Martell Holt. Girl, Martell, he's slow. Girl, he homophobic. Girl, you could tell who ran their business. Martell, if you're supposed to be this business person, then why do you need to put your brother in contact with a business group? That just goes to show that Martell doesn't know anything about business, and that's okay. And that goes to show who ran that show. But she allowed Martell to probably just act as though he was girl running the show when Melody was running the show the whole time. Anyways, Kimmy makes it to the Black Business Expo. She looks amazing. Just left treatment, radiation, honey. I said, Miss Thing throw on her good wig, throw on her outfit, and punched it. I said, girl, okay. Um, Melody runs into Montez, which is Martell's brother. I could have swore I heard the brother say, "You know how my brother is." Um, Melody was like, "Yeah." She starts to cry. I think that we don't really, Melody gives you very, robot. Um, her scenes always come across as a little bit cringy to me. I think this was probably one of the few times where I felt like Melody was being genuine on camera. Um, Courtney calls Stormy because they have somehow girl, put the wrong labels on the wrong bottles. So, girl, they probably got shampoo labels on the goddamn conditioner bottles. Girl, they probably got the serum labels on the goddamn shampoo bottles. Girl, just a mess. And they have to get this order out. And they done put the wrong labels on stuff. Girl, what I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed off at Courtney for calling me and telling me, because why the fuck is you there if we're gonna just be honest? The whole purpose of you being there is to make sure that stuff runs smoothly. Why are you ringing my phone? Because if that's the case, I should have been there and you should have been here. Or either I should have been there because clearly you can't get it under control. Sorry, I'm sorry. That's just how I've looked at the situation. And then on top of that, girl, who is y'all hiring? Who are y'all hiring in Huntsville? A bitch don't know the difference between a shampoo label and a girl. Martell don't want to talk. Of course, he gets nervous. He can't do public speaking. And the thing is, I give Martell a hard time, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are just not comfortable with public speaking. I think the reason why why I'm so hard on Martell, because it just goes to show again who was the brains in their marriage, right? And I feel like Martell probably walked around this entire time thinking that he was running the show, and now we really have a glimpse of who was really running the show. But a lot of people are not comfortable speaking in front of two people, 1,500 people, a million. It doesn't matter if it's one. Some people are just not comfortable getting up speaking. Um, I love the advice that Stormy gave. The money will come if you're passionate about what you do. The money gonna come. If you make, I believe that too. If you make it about the money, girl, it's kind of like, girl, you're doing this for the wrong thing. If you like what you do, if you love what you do, if you're passionate about what you do, the money gonna come. The money is gonna come. Now, if you in it just for the money, then girl, hopefully it work out for you. But the money gonna come. Tisha got up there talking about, if you see somebody doing great, ask them for some help. Um, One thing I want to talk about, Miss Tisha. Tisha, this is what I forgot to mention. Tisha, why in the fuck was you down there at that video shoot or at that photo shoot, girl, wrapping your name around these bottles? All I saw was somebody else's product, and Tisha was using the product to basically wrap her labels around somebody else's hair care products. Now I get it, the hair product. I don't. I just thought that was weird. I thought that was weird. I thought that was weird. Um, that happened like 2, 3 episodes ago. Um, I don't have a business. Um, I do think there are certain things that you should just know, right? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Somebody got up from the audience and ask a question. When it comes to pitching venture capital, when it comes to like raising money outside of like grants and stuff like that, do y'all have any experience in that? I just feel if you're going to host a Black business expo and you're going to have a panel, I would hope that the people on the panel would know what venture capital is. And even if you don't know, the thing that gets me with Marceau and niggas like Marceau, instead of Marceau just because quiet as it's kept, even if you don't know, you still could have answered that question. When it comes to pitching venture capital, when it comes to raising funds outside of grants and things of that nature, do you have any experience in that? When it comes to raising raising funds outside of grants and things. So if Marceau would have listened to the question, he could have just answered the question, right? But Marceau, I always want to sound like he's smart, and I always want to sound like he knows stuff, and then you just end up sounding dumb because that's exactly what happened. Marceau ended up sounding dumb. He sounded like he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't know how to explain it because he didn't know what venture capital was. And I think that is unacceptable because of the position that they have put themselves in. If you're gonna host a Black Business Expo, I'm not getting on no panel at no Black Business Expo. I consider in the audience and learn a thing or two. But if you're gonna be on the panel, I'm not saying if you got your little business set up around the room, and even then, girl, I would probably expect you to still know that too. But if you're gonna be on the panel, I just feel like it was unacceptable for Marceau not to know how to answer that question. I shouldn't be having this. Oh yeah, Courtney and why I bust stop crying? Why I bust stop crying, y'all? Girl, why I started crying once girl, no, for real, girl. When Courtney and Stormy were talking, and Courtney was basically telling Stormy how when she was laying on the bed, she was, after she had the baby, blood was just everywhere. It's like they were getting buckets of blood, just like throwing it out of the way, and that traumatized him. So that's really why he don't want Courtney. That's why he really don't want Stormy to have another baby, because girl, and this is the thing, and I've said this before. Y'all do be acting like having a baby is easy. I know for some people it's easy breezy, girl. It's kind of like, girl, taking a shit and wiping your ass. But girl, pregnancy, girl, I don't know. That's what, like, when people be like, oh, I don't know. I just feel like pregnancy is not this easy thing. Like you have a whole person inside of your body, and a lot of shit is going on. I'm with Courtney. I don't like if you. I just feel like if you went through something traumatic like that, why would you even want to have another baby? Like if you got to the point where you could have possibly died on the table giving birth, girl, you need to count your blessings, be happy you got your one baby, and sit your ass down somewhere. So Courtney basically says even though he doesn't really want anyone else carrying the baby, a lot of people not really experts. I mean, I'm not no expert in it either. But I feel like we've had too many conversations about surrogacy. Not too many, but I just feel like, girl, at this point, with us seeing the few people on reality TV um, showing their, surrogacy journey, that girl, people would kind of start to be a bit more open, right? And I feel like Courtney, I thought I was a little ignorant when he was like, I don't want nobody else carrying my baby. It's 2023, girl. But then he came around and said that was pretty much the only option that they had. I mean, I'm not saying that Courtney should be the one to put his foot down and tell Stormy what she gonna do and what she ain't gonna do. But I feel like in this situation, I was with Courtney. I know you might want to carry the baby, Well, Stormy was the one who actually. Well, Stormy did actually. Oh no, Stormy was the one who mentioned a surrogate. But even if Stormy wanted to carry the baby, if I was Courtney, I would have been putting my foot down too. Like, you're not carrying no baby. You just not. Your ass damn near died the last time. I had to watch the whole goddamn situation. That's out of the question. That's out of the question. We're not having a conversation no more. Either we're gonna have the baby through a surrogate, or either we're not gonna have no more motherfucking children, or either we're gonna have to adopt. But you not having no baby. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm with Courtney. Girl, I started crying because I just thought it was sad. I thought it was a happy cry. Like, oh, this is so sweet. Like, you could tell Courtney really comes across as like a sweet person. He does. We don't know shit about Courtney. Courtney is new to the TV screen. Give these niggas 3 seasons, honey. They start showing their ass. But the other niggas, they were showing their ass for the first season. But Courtney, so far, so good. I like Courtney. I like Stormy now. Stormy, I was wanting her to get her ass on my TV screen last season. But I like Stormy too. She needs to work on her fucking attitude. Okay. But other than that, Stormy cool. I like Stormy. I like Courtney. Tiffany, she want to talk with the group because she felt excluded. Tiffany, you just want to fuss, and she want to give some constructive criticism. Tiffany, you want to fuss. Baby, that baby is damn near crowning. Girl, shut your ass up and go ahead, that baby. You worry about the wrong thing, girl. She's talking about I felt excluded from the Black Business Expo. Girl, that's all fine and dandy, because the truth of the matter, it doesn't even matter, girl. Girl, you about 2 seconds away from pushing out a whole baby. And you worried about the fucking Black Business Expo. And here we go again with Tiffany putting in her 2 cents on some shit that don't have nothing to do with her. Lou, I already told you, and Lou was right. Stop giving your 2 cents on shit that don't have nothing to do with you. Did they ask? No. So, girl, let's leave it alone. I understand that there could have been I'm not could have. There are things that definitely could be better with the Black Business Expo, but girl, just let it go. Tisha didn't ask you. You ain't got to meet up and provide no goddamn constructive criticism. Girl, let it go, girl. And then Tisha says that I don't even know what Tiffany do, really. Girl, that's how you know these girls don't really fuck with each other. Tiffany has been on this show for 3. Is it 3 seasons? She came in season 3, right? Or did she come in last year? I can't remember. It's been 2 or 3 seasons. How is it that you're at a base level, girl, you should know what this person who you hang around do for work? Like, at a base level. Like, she runs her own nonprofit organization. Girl, she is the director for an insurance company. She is a manager at one of the local call centers. Girl, she is a manager at Walmart. You ain't got to know the day-to-day duties, but girl, you should at least know, like, girl, what's her title at work? And for you to be like, I don't even know what Tiffany do. Girl, what the fuck? Girl, like, y'all don't be doing shit like that. Girl, like, I couldn't tell you my friends day to day what they do, but I could tell you, girl, I can tell you where they work. Girl, I can tell you what the title is. Now, getting into all what y'all talk about in emails and who you had to find today, girl, that ain't none of my business, no my concern, nor do I give a damn. But girl, I can at least tell you where they work. What they do. Yeah. Anyways, child. Tisha. Tisha talks to Stormy. So this is the problem. I think we all do this, including me, you, your mama, and your cousin too. I think we all do this, where we sometimes want to find fault in both parties instead of just calling for what it is. girl, you wrong, leave it alone. If you wouldn't have said what you said, we wouldn't be in this position. It is what it is. Tisha was right and Tisha was wrong with what she was saying. Tisha was right, in my opinion, for thinking that Stormy took it to another level when she was basically like, you gonna have to see Courtney. Girl, that was a little too much. That was a lot. But I also felt like Tisha should have just charged it to the game, because the truth of the matter is, even though it was a lot, your husband was wrong for even walking up to that woman asking about some goddamn $100 fee. I think Tisha should have just said, yeah, I talked to Marceau. I told him he was dead wrong. Girl, I'm sorry. Girl, hopefully next year, we can fix the things that we did wrong this year and everything will run smoother. I think sometimes it's just best for people just to bite the bullet, call it for what it is. But I also think that sometimes in these situations, people feel like they have to take their husband's or their wife's side, even when they're completely wrong. Like Lou felt like he had to have Tiffany's side, even though he knew Tiffany was wrong. Tisha know that Marceau is wrong, but she still feels the need to try and call out Stormy for what she did wrong. Instead of just saying, girl, you right. So he was doing too much. Girl, I told him, girl, next year we'll do better. Girl, what you drinking today? And then leave it alone. It's just that, you can't tell anybody how to react. Because we have to start at point A, start at the beginning, don't start at the middle. But I can also understand, like with Stormy, I just hate that, like with Stormy, like in this situation, it's, oh, girl, you don't want to see my husband. Like, girl, what? Like, where is this coming from? Like, I would rather you just be on some, I said what I said, and it is what it is, and I said what I said because he came up to my face on some bullshit. You see what you see? Does that make sense? I don't know, because some people will say, well, I don't know. I just wish that Stormy didn't always make it. Like, not always, but I just wish that Stormy didn't take it to a, you don't want to see my husband. Do you want to go see Courtney? You sitting in the bed talking to Courtney. You gonna go talk to him? Like, I don't feel that there's a need for Courtney to go talk to Marceau. I really don't. Just like there really wasn't a need for Tisha to try and defend Marceau. The truth of the matter is, it was three grown-ass people having a powwow. Tisha know that Marceau was wrong. Marceau know Marceau probably know he was wrong. Tisha know why Stormy was upset. It is what it is. Girl, we moving on. I'm sorry. I told Marceau his ass was dead ass wrong, right? And I think that's what Tisha should have left it at. Tisha should have left it at that. Anyways, girl, I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.